MPs are to examine problems hampering the implementation of the central pillar of government changes to the welfare system. The Work and Pensions Secretary, Ian Duncan-Smith, will have to explain why the timetable for the new universal credit, which will eventually be claimed by around 7 million people, has slipped. He'll also face questions about the money already spent on it. Our political correspondent Chris Mason reports.
It's a whopper of a shake-up. The government's merging 6 benefits into one and trying to make sure it pays to work. The man in charge has repeatedly said it was on time and on budget. But take a listen to him now.
Yes, I do accept, of course, that this plan is different. What we're going to do is we're going to set a system so that the system works first. We test all the people going onto it, and then when we know how that works for them, we then start rolling the numbers in as we understand how the system behaves with them. Isn't that the best way to do it?
This will mean around 750,000 of the most vulnerable claimants won't be transferred onto universal credit until after 2017. And the deadline has slipped massively elsewhere too. The latest published figure shows just 2,150 people were claiming universal credit in September. 2 years ago, Mr Duncan-Smith set a target of more than 1 million people claiming it by April next year. So that offers an insight into the timetable, but what about the budget? Expect Ian Duncan-Smith to be pressed this afternoon about how much money has been written off on computers and software to support the project. Labour, in principle, back universal credit, but they detect more than just a whiff of delay, incompetence and mismanagement in its implementation.
Well, the Labour Party, the National Audit Office, the Public Accounts Committee and others have all said that this project was off track for months now, and Ian Duncan-Smith failed to listen and he failed to get a grip. This is about his leadership, because he has staked his reputation on the universal credit, and we now know that that flagship policy lies in tatters.
Ian Duncan-Smith is defiant. Delivering universal credit safely is more important than deadlines, he says, but the implications if it fails are huge. Around 7 million people will eventually be reliant on it, and so plenty are now asking him a simple question. Chris Mason, BBC News at Westminster.